Hello everyone, I'm Jeremy Geckner with the Front Row Movie Reviews, and this is a very special edition of Front Row News, your weekly roundup of the latest in the movie world. And this time we are reacting to the latest Golden Globe nominations that came out this week. I'm going to tell you a few of the things that stood out to me as the announcements were made. Obviously, the biggest story of the Globes is the incredible amount of nominations for The Shape of Water. Guillermo del Toro's sci-fi drama has garnered 7 out of the possible 10 nominations it was up for, including the technical categories of score and screenplay and best picture, but then it also got nominations for Guillermo del Toro himself for director, and then 3 acting nominations for lead actor Sally Hawkins and supporting actors and actresses Octavia Spencer and Richard Jenkins. This is a big step forward for this movie. Typically the Academy does not favor sci-fi films, but this one seems to be getting a lot of critical buzz and a lot of awards momentum at the exact right time. I am very eager to see how many of these 7 awards it can take home at the ceremony. Another big development from these nominations was that the movie Dunkirk has some really serious staying power from the summer months, as it garnered 3 nominations for director Christopher Nolan, for Hans Zimmer for best score, and of course for best motion picture drama. Now, we did think that this was one of the best films that we saw all year, and we especially think that Hans Zimmer's score should definitely be the front runner in that category. But the fact that this movie came out in July and still had enough staying power to get into these nominations, especially from the Hollywood Foreign Press, is really quite impressive. Also in the surprising category with staying power is the Get Out, the horror film from Jordan Peele that came out in February of this year, had enough staying power to garner 2 nominations for best motion picture comedy or musical, and for best actor in a musical or comedy for its star Daniel Kaluuya. Now, look, this movie is definitely worthy of one of the best picture of the year slots, but in the musical or comedy realm, I guess I could see how you could call it a comedy, but it definitely isn't that first in my mind. So I don't agree with where they placed it, but I am glad that it does get some recognition, especially coming out so early in the year. One of the surprise snubs of the list is the exclusion of the Call Me By Your Name director Luca Guadagnino as one of the best director nominees. Now, aside from him, all of the other best drama picture award nominees, their directors are nominated for best director, with the exception now of Ridley Scott taking Luca's place for All the Money in the World. Now, I don't know quite why this happened. Maybe All the Money in the World is getting a bigger push. That kind of leads us into my next thing. But, you know, look, not everybody is always going to have it this way, but considering how much buzz Call Me By Your Name is getting in terms of one of the best films of the year, I really would have expected his name to be on this list as well. And staying in around All the Money in the World, I was so surprised to see Christopher Plummer garner a nomination for Best Supporting Actor for this film. Now, for those of you who don't know, this was a true life story about the Getty oil empire and the man at the center of it, and it was originally played by Kevin Spacey in a crap ton of makeup. But of course, with all of these sexual allegations against Kevin Spacey, they decided to completely reshoot his part of the film with veteran actor Christopher Plummer, and well, it appears that critics have really taken a liking to it. This film was thought to have been torpedoed by these Kevin Spacey allegations, but now it appears they've rebounded quite nicely, especially with this nomination. And one of my final big thoughts is, man, look at that best drama actor category, because this is a really stark game of one of these things is not like the other, as newcomer Timothée Chalamet from Call Me By Your Name garnered one of these 5 nominations, and he is among the giants of the acting realm. You've got Daniel Day-Lewis, Gary Oldman, Tom Hanks, and Denzel Washington going up against him here. Look, I got conventional wisdom has to say that this kid doesn't have a chance against those 4, but who knows? Maybe everybody's feeling sentimental that day, but I gotta say, enjoy that night, man. You're among giants for at least one night. That's going to do it for my Golden Globes reaction here. Hey, go on over to the frontrowmoviereviews.com, or you can find all of our stuff also at springfielddaily.com, and be sure to not miss our live coverage all throughout the day of Star Wars Episode 8 on Thursday. You can go to our YouTube channel, our Facebook channel, or to springfielddaily.com, and you can find all of that. I'm Jeremy Geckner. This has been Front Row News, and as always, we will see you in the front row.